I have written a few articles on Shiva Linga in Mecca. Is 786. Muslims worship Shiv Lingam at Mecca. Masjid al-Haram says Islamic site. Prophet's uncle wrote Shiva Stuti, a prayer on Lord Shiva. Sapthapathy of the marriage ceremony of the Hindus and Navagrahas are found in Arabia. Aravastan is Arabia. The Prophet, after signing a treaty with tribes, the Medina Treaty, stormed Mecca and destroyed 360 idols housed there. There is Kaaba stone, which is believed to have been of Abrahamic times. People are not permitted to take videos or photographs of the inside of the room. The room seems to contain an idol, the worship of which is prohibited in Islam. Now let us see what a surreptitiously taken video and an article in a website run by Pakistani defense think tank say. Video is below. One can see an idol resembling Shiv Linga there. And watch the video, and look at the clock for the time of opening the room. 5.20 to 5.45. Shiva's Pradosha time. Details at www.dramanidblog.in. Titled Shiva Linga in Kaaba opens at Pradosha video. Pakistani website. The article from Pakistan Defense think tank site. Arabia is an abbreviation. The original word even today is Avastan. It originates in Avastan. As observed earlier, Sanskrit V changes into B. Ava in Sanskrit means a horse. Avastan signifies a land of horses, and as we all know, Arabia is famous for its horses. In the 6th and 7th centuries AD, a wave of effecting a complete break with the past spread over West Asia. All links with the past were broken, images smashed, scriptures destroyed, education discontinued, and the entire West Asian region took a plunge in abysmal ignorance which lasted for centuries thereafter and perhaps persists to a certain extent even today, because if in the whole world modern scientific and educational developments find stubborn and entrenched resistance anywhere, it is in the West Asian countries. It is said that the late Saudi Arabia ruler could not permit a radio broadcasting station opened in his own capital because of opposition from his Maulavis. He then resorted to a stratagem. Once, while he had his council of Maulavis in attendance, he had a radio set switched onto a program of Quranic recitation broadcast from a small transmitting station set up earlier without much ado. The Maulavis were delighted, so goes the report, to hear the word of Allah coming to them as if from nowhere. The king told them that what objections could they have to a mechanism which broadcast the word of Allah. The Maulavis agreed, and the small radio broadcasting project was at last ratified. According to Encyclopedia Britannica and Encyclopedia Islamia, the Arabs are ignorant of their own history of the pre-Muslim era. By a strange euphemism, they call it a period of ignorance and darkness. Probably no other country in the world has deliberately written off a 2,500-year period of their own history by systematically stamping out and snapping all links with the past. They have wiped the memories of pre-Muslim era off their minds. So while they chose to remain ignorant of their past, ironically enough it is they who dub the pre-Muslim era as a period of ignorance. Fortunately we can still trace the history of that pre-Islamic Arabia. It is a well-known adage that there is no such thing as foolproof destruction of all evidence. The pre-Islamic history of Arabia is the story of Indian Kshatriyas over that land, with the people following the Vedic way of life. In our attempt to reconstruct the story of pre-Islamic Arabia, we begin with the name of the country itself. As explained earlier, the name is fully Sanskrit. Its central pilgrim center, Mecca, is also a Sanskrit name. Mecca in Sanskrit signifies a sacrificial fire. Since Vedic fire worship was prevalent all over West Asia in pre-Islamic days, Mecca signifies the place which had an important shrine of fire worship. Coinciding with the annual pilgrimage of huge bazaar used to spring up in Mecca, i.e. Mecca since times immemorial. The annual pilgrimage of Muslims to Mecca is not at all an innovation but a continuation of the ancient pilgrimage. This fact is mentioned in encyclopedias. Evidence is now available that the whole of Arabia was part of the great Indian king Vikramaditya's vast empire. The extent of Vikramaditya's empire is one of the main reasons for his worldwide fame. Incidentally, this also explains many intriguing features about Arabia. Please check my podcast on Vikramaditya.